I mean, they aren't that broken, but no one's gonna click on a video titled, "Here's me doing math that I found interesting," for a couple minutes. But some of you may already know that snipers have an inbuilt crit damage bonus of 20%. Some of you may also know that Jacobs and Hyperion have additional inbuilt crit damage, being another 10% for Jacobs and 5% for Hyperion. These manufacturer-specific bonuses aren't just for snipers though, and apply to the overall manufacturer, meaning it will apply to pistols, shotguns, whatever else they make. Which means that for both, it will apply to all of their weapons. Also, we're clarifying that these manufacturer bonuses and the sniper bonus are not listed on the item cards. The crit bonuses listed on item cards are completely separate and aren't always there, as they are role dependent. The manufacturer and sniper bonus is always present. Now, these all sound like kind of small numbers, so why am I saying that these are kind of broken and really interesting? All of these bonuses are separately multiplicative with each other. So let me actually showcase this. As you can see, I'm here on an Amara save with absolutely no skill points, so I can't be getting any crit damage from any other source, nothing in my gear slots, and we're going to be using this Calipine, which has no crit damage on the card and a base damage of 56,368. So taking that, we will calculate what our crit damage would normally be without these modifiers, which gives us 112,000 damage, as crit damage is just a flat ×2 bonus. But of course, this isn't going to be right, and we are going to actually be getting 148,000, because that's the number when we actually add those extra bonuses. So we multiply that by 1.2 for the sniper bonus, and then we multiply that again by 1.1 for the Jacobs bonus, giving us that 148,000. Now, this is quite the significant increase. We're getting an extra 36,000 damage on crit just for free. But this starts to get even crazier, because remember how I mentioned that crit damage on card is a separate thing? It's also multiplicative. So this muck-a-muck is 68,000. So once again, we'll just take that base damage and multiply it by 2 to get 136,191. But firing, we see that we get 197,000. So we'll add the sniper bonus of 20% for 163,000. We'll add the Jacobs bonus of 10% for 179. And now we add that extra bonus of the 10% on the item card, and we get 197,000. So again, while these multipliers are small, because they're all separately multiplicative with each other, they really start to add up. And they add up even further when you start adding in your own crit damage. So on this class mod, we have 26% critical hit damage and nothing else that would really be affecting our damage here. So we'll take that, once again, hit a crit, and that is 249,000. Because this is, once again, another multiplier from everything else that we've talked about so far. So we times this number by 1.26, and there we are, almost 250,000 damage just from having a single source of additional crit damage. A pretty small one at that. Now, of course, if we were to add more crit damage, this is where we start getting additive. Things from your class mods, your skills, or from other sources like that, those are all additive with each other. Of course, this is what a simplified damage formula looks like. You have your base damage times your gun damage times V1 times V2 times splash times elemental, and then times 2 as the overall crit bonus multiplied by your crit damage increases. Now we're going to cut away everything else and just focus on the crit. And I'll showcase this with a Jacobs sniper rifle, which leaves us with 2. Again, this is just our overall crit multiplier, times 1 plus 0.02. This is the overall sniper crit damage bonus, times 1 plus 0.1 being our Jacobs crit bonus, and then 1 plus the crit listed on the card, times 1 plus our crit damage bonuses. These are the ones that come from other sources like skills, class mod, etc. So this means if you're going for min-maxing sniper rifles, especially Jacobs, you can get a hell of a lot of damage for them, and a lot of it just kind of happens for free. And stacking crit damage with them just becomes even more effective than a lot of other weapons. Now, there are a couple standout things to mention here. Of course, the Unforgiven with its 432% critical hit damage on card. This slots into that card crit, meaning that on crit, that is multiplied with your other crit damage bonuses separately, along with that 10% Jacobs crit modifier. Just to showcase this briefly, our base crit is 228,000. And with a little bit of crit damage, that goes up to 288,000. Just to quickly confirm this again, 19,485 times 2 times 1.1 for the Jacobs, and then times 5.32 as we have the 1 plus 4.32 for our on-card damage, and that gives us that 228,000. And then we also have the Monocle, which is a very interesting one, as the Monocle, when ADS, gets a 250% damage bonus. And this damage bonus is, as is a theme here, entirely multiplicative. So let's throw in our base damage of 69,914. We'll give that a multiply by 2 for our crit damage, times it by 1.2 for the sniper crit, 1.1 for the Jacob's crit, another 1.1 because we have 10% crit damage on card, and then we'll multiply that all by 3.5 because 1 plus 2.5, which will give us 710,000 on crit. 710,000 on crit. Now this, of course, is just going to benefit even more from adding extra crit damage. So we'll throw on our 26%, hit a crit for 897,000, up from our 710,000. Just from a single source of crit damage that has been increased by 187,000, which of course we can add that times 1.26, and it pretty much checks out. Borderlands can do some goofy shit with rounding sometimes, so our numbers aren't exact, but it is close enough. A couple other things worth mentioning: the crossbow's base damage just gets stupid on crit because of how high the base is, plus it's getting all these other multipliers, and the Tankmans and NARP, with how much fucking weapon damage they get alongside these modifiers, just become even more depressing when you think about how bad they are. So Jacobs and Hyperion are the only two manufacturers to get their own bonus crit damage. Vladov and Dahl don't get anything aside from just that overall 20% sniper crit. As you can see here, we have a Pushto with 39,307 base damage. We'll slap that on up in our calculator, multiply it by 2, multiply it by 1.2 for that sniper damage, and we should be getting 94,000, which when firing at the head, 94,000 as it should be. While we're at it, we'll check out the Dahl, which has 41,016 times 2 times 1.2. That should give us 98. And there we go, 98,000. But what you can notice is if we go to semi-auto, that goes up to 118,000. And this is due to Dahl weapons getting bonus damage when in semi-auto, and of course, this is another multiplicative bonus. With assault rifles and snipers, that bonus is 20%, and with SMGs, it is 10%, while pistols don't get anything for this. But of course, if we add that by multiplying by 1.2, that checks out at 118. But yeah, that's about all I wanted to talk about here today. I wanted to showcase just how sniper rifles work and tell you about this hidden damage that a lot of weapons have so that you can avoid having them mess up your formulas if you're trying to math out your builds, or to maybe give you some ideas, some inspiration to really go ahead and abuse the shit out of some of these bonuses. But that's gonna about do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all of that. I'll be live right here on YouTube and over on Twitch right after this video goes up. There will be a link to my Twitch down in the description below, and just under that is a link to my Discord server where you can come and join and hang out. But with that all being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.